Hey YouTube, hope you guys are doing great. I wanted to post an update on vitiligo, which for some of you who just follow my YouTube channel and have no idea what this is, it is a skin disorder in which your skin creates like a depigmentation thing, and the melanocytes, or however you pronounce that, basically eat each other. And so some people think it is an autoimmune disease also, or is linked to another autoimmune disease like Hashimoto's disease or something like that. Anyways, so I have a funny story to tell you, but I'll get to this first. So I started researching causes for vitiligo because the doctors are basically like, there's no cure and we can't do anything for you, so you're kind of screwed. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. And basically I found out that in theory some vitiligo cases, not all, may be caused by a copper deficiency in our system. So instead of looking for a copper supplement, because I don't even know if that exists or not, I decided to look into some copper bracelets, because I remembered when I was little, you wear copper earrings, so you get that like green mark on your skin, and it was because copper was absorbing through your system. So I figured, we could do copper bracelets. So I bought a copper bracelet, like I showed you in a couple other videos, and you can see that my skin's like filling in, like, where these little spots where it used to be huge patches, at least the size of pennies or bigger, and it's kind of like filling in here. So that's good. And then the stuff on my face has kind of disappeared too, because it's starting on either side of my nose. And I was like, not my face, so please no. But sometimes it spreads to like 80% of your body and everything like that. So I wanted to figure out what it was and kind of stop it early, and I really thought it was eczema at first, just because it started as like pinky reddish patches, and then it was like once I was in the sun, it just completely killed out all the pigmentation. But anyway, so I live in Michigan, and I went to a doctor in Howell, Michigan. Granted, Howell has a bad reputation, like, it's like the KKK and other stuff that people have been trying to change for many years or whatever, and now it's a lot better of a place. But do not go to the family practice there. Oh my God. So I went to go see the main doctor there at the office, and my mom happened to be with me, and we were going to go out to lunch afterwards. And my mom has a thyroid issue also. We have been to several endocrinologists, several specialists about this, and had blood test results done, and everything comes back as normal. And so I'm like, you know what? I really think it's Hashimoto's disease, because I have all the hypothyroidism symptoms instead of hyperthyroidism. And I'm like, it's got to be Hashimoto's, and my grandma has it, my mom has it, I'm pretty sure I have it, my sister might have it. So there's all this like a trend going on in which the evidence is pretty clear that something wrong is happening. And the endocrinologist is like, well, excuse me, if your test results come back normal, I'm basically going to diagnose you with Hashimoto's. She's like, but there's nothing we can do about it, and I can't treat it. But she's like, but if it comes back as that, then you should come in and we'll talk about how to treat it. And I'm like, you just said there's no way to treat it. So anyways, so she basically kicked us out, and I went to go back see my family practice doctor, and the endocrinologist wrote this like really biased, judgmental letter to my family practice doctor, and it was like, Samantha and her mother are convinced she has a thyroid problem, although I have no reason to believe that this is true, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to diagnose her with fatigue, gradual weight gain. Okay, 25 plus pounds in less than 5 months is not gradual. It's like rapid weight gain, asshole. So, fatigue, weight gain, gradual weight gain. What was the other thing, too? I think it's just like lethargy or something. Like, oh, you're just fat and lazy, basically was the diagnosis. So I was like, thank you. Anyways, and she's just like, Samantha researched on the internet, as if it's not some credible source, and that I wasn't reading like scholarly articles, so screw you, doctor. But anyway, so we get to the family practice doctor, and we are super nice and friendly, and I had done some research that some doctors who think outside of the box are willing to do a low dose for patients who have Hashimoto's, a low dose of Synthroid or hormone replacement therapy for their thyroid. And the problem is with Hashimoto's, your tests come back normal a lot of the times. And so my tests were coming back normal, so I kept getting turned away from people. And they're like, well, it's something else. It's not thyroid. And people forget that these blood test results are based on people that are usually sick. Who gets their blood drawn? Sick people. So it's really dumb. So they keep on having to adjust their scale or whatever on what's normal for your TSH levels and T3, T4 levels, all this other crap. Anyways, so I get to the doctor's office, and I was like, I told her what the endocrinologist said, and then I have Hashimoto's, and I told her about this German study in which these doctors gave patients with Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism a very, very low dose, and I was wondering if she would be willing to give me a low dose. She flipped her lid, like literally started shaking. It was like, okay, we're done. get out of my office, we're done. And like, just was freaking out. And she's like, well, I don't read German. And I'm like, okay, number one, the study's available in English, but I didn't even like tell her that. And I was just basically like, you know, some doctors continue their education and studies and find different stuff. And that just like even added on to it because I started to insult her a little bit. Not bad. I mean, we weren't being rude. We were being really firm. But her response was so inappropriate and so unprofessional, especially for a doctor who's like maybe in her 50s. I don't know if she was having a menopausal issue, going through a divorce, or just having a really bad day, but it was absolutely inappropriate. Started screaming, was shaking, and was starting like literally trembling, like couldn't even hand me a paper, and starting to sweat. So she's like, you need to leave. And I'm like, well, you need to give me a solution. I was like, I'm not going to pay money to come in here just to have you turn me away. Like, send me somewhere else, give me a referral somewhere else. And she's like, oh, you don't even have to pay for today. You can just get out, live, just go. And I was like, all right. So anyways, I pestered her. She finally gave me a referral to a rheumatologist. In my mind, I'm like a joints and like pain doctor, like, but it's true that they sometimes do deal with autoimmune diseases and things like that. So anyways, but I am so freaking fed up with the medical system. And so on top of that, we found a homeopath in the East Lansing area. But the initial visit is like $400 to go see him because they're not covered by insurance. And then the second follow-up visit's like $350. So it's like $750 or whatever to go in there and have this done, and hopefully they would do a thyroid thing. Now, here's the interesting thing, too. If you're not sure if you have a thyroid problem and all your tests are coming back normal, check your basal or basal, I think it's basal body temperature, whatever you want to say. I can't pronounce shit. And that's when you check your armpit temperature or your oral mouth temperature in the morning, like right after you wake up within those few minutes, and test it. And if it's lower than 97.5, I think, then you probably have a low thyroid function. This is like they never had this tested. And mine was like 96.5 in the morning, so that seems pretty low. But anyways, I'm continuing my battle with thyroidism issues and Hashimoto's and vitiligo and everything. That kind of all seems to be intertwined, but the endocrinologist is like, Samantha believes that vitiligo is caused by Hashimoto's or a hypothyroid issue. And I'm like, yeah, that's like what most of the studies say. So here's the problem. Doctors don't know everything. Western medicine is very limited sometimes in not being able to think outside the box, not being able to go out on a limb. And I even told the lady, I'll sign a waiver. If you're so freaking scared of being sued, I will sign a waiver saying, yes, this is like an experimental treatment. I'm taking a low dose of thyroid or whatever. That's fine. But she's like, what if your blood pressure goes up and your heart rate and you die or something? God forbid we sue the doctor. So anyways, bunch of crap. So I'm still pursuing my battle against that. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing great. Let me know if you find a homeopath or if, healed from something like that and if it worked for you guys. But I hope all is well and you guys take care of yourself. Bye-bye.